We're at the section now where we're going to be looking at our sample with an oil immersion objective. I'm using an EVOS FL inverted microscope. This is a digital fluorescence microscope that uses LED for fluorescence illumination. And my sample is on the stage here. I've got a cover slip slide. The slide sample is molecular probe slide number 1. It's their bovine pulmonary artery endothelial cell sample. It's been stained with Alexafluor 488 against actin via phalloidin. And it's got mitotracker red staining the mitochondria and DAPI staining the cell nuclei. So what I'm going to start off with is my 20x objective in order to find a cell of interest here. And so I'm ready to go. I'm going to turn on my light and look on the screen and move around here, bring this into focus, find a cell of interest, just kind of move around. Actually, that one that's in the center looks pretty good. I think we'll go with that one. So the idea is to just kind of get your sample queued up so that you have the cell of interest in the center at low magnification. And then what we're going to do is switch over to our 100x objective, put the oil on the objective, and bring that into focus with the sample. So in order to do that, I'm just going to reach in here. I'm going to have to remove my slide now to get access to the objective. So I'll just set that aside here for a minute. And I'll switch over my objective to the 100x. And that 100x, I'm going to lower the objective by dropping down my focusing knob here until it goes to the end. You hear that click, that's the end of the focus range. And now I'm ready to oil the objective. For that, I'm going to use this little pod that I created before. It's that little ampule full of oil. And I'm just going to bring this over and I'll take a little bit of the oil off here and blot it into this napkin to get any kind of air bubbles out. You want to be very careful not to have any air bubbles in the oil. So once I do that, I'm going to bring it here and just apply a very small drop right there to the end. That's all we really need. And I'll set that aside. Now I'm going to take my sample and put it back where it started from here. I had it pushed in here so that it was kind of up in the corner. So we're going to be at higher magnification, obviously, when we switch this back. And for the EVOS, I can just put this little cover on it here to kind of help keep out some ambient light while I do my work. And now I'm ready to find my sample again with the 100x oiled objective. So right now the objective is in place, but it actually isn't touching the cover slip. I've lowered that objective so that there's a gap there, even with the oil on it. What we're going to do is turn on the illumination and bring the objective up in the focal plane until it touches the cover slip. And when it touches that cover slip, as I look through here and watch the excitation light come from the out of the end of the objective, when it touches the cover slip, it'll get very bright at that moment of contact. And that's when I know that my slide is very close to being in the focal plane, and I can move very carefully upward and focus and find my sample. So here we'll start off, we'll turn on that light, and I'm going to shield this a little bit here. I'll bring up the objective, and then notice that moment when the objective oil touched the cover slip, it got brighter, and now I can bring this up and keep going until I find my cells. And now there's my cell, and it's very bright. I'm going to reduce the intensity of the LED illumination here and center this a little bit on the screen. And there's the cell that I had before, only now we're magnified 100x, and we've got let's see here, okay, there we go, and we've got a high resolution, high magnification image there. So that looks pretty good, and when I find everything is in focus there, I can actually bring up my illumination a little bit until I'm saturating, bring it down a tad, click on capture, and I'm going to get a nice clear image of the cell. Now I'm going to switch over to the Texas Red channel, and that's going to show us what's going on with the mitochondria. Turn on the light and bring this up. Maybe adjust my focal plane a little bit here to optimize it. There we go. That looks good. I'm a little saturated, so I'm going to bring this down. Click on capture. Get a nice image. Switch over to the DAPI channel. Turn the light on. Bring this up. You can see my nucleus is in pretty good focus there. Click capture. And I'm all set. Clicking on the overlay button, I get those three channels superimposed in pseudo-color. And at this point, I'm all set to do some adjustment to things. I can bring up the red channel a little bit here, increase its contrast, bring up the green channel if I want to see some of the details there. Again, kind of making some adjustments to that brightness and contrast. So I've got a really nice high resolution image with my oil immersion objective, and I'm all set.